Hey guys, welcome back. It's Shelby, and today I want to go through my top 10 favorite perfumes that I own with you guys. At first I wanted to go through my whole perfume collection, but then I was pulling out the bottles and realized that I have too many of them. Even though over the last 5 years I've made a really concerted effort to definitely use up more of the perfumes than I purchase and get rid of them. I can't help myself. I love perfume. I buy way too much of it, but I use it and I love it. It's not something that I don't use and I just collect. I love perfume. I use it. I think it's just such a beautiful art form and something I really appreciate in my daily life. So I wanted to share that passion with you guys. Going through the bottles, I realized there was way too many to do a video on. I own too many. It would be too long of a video. So in this video, I'm going to share my top 10 perfumes with you, and then maybe I'll do a couple other ones down the line with just different perfumes I have, why I have them, and why I love them. But this video is going to focus on the top 10, my top 10 personal that I own that I think smell amazing and smell amazing on me, which is a really important distinction because there are many wonderful perfumes on the market that just don't smell good on everyone, and that has to do with the way they interact with your personal body chemistry. So these are the perfumes I love. I want to tell you a little bit about them and share them with you guys, and yeah, here we go. So first off, I want to say that perfume is an incredibly personal item. It's something that, you know, everybody has to find one that works for themselves and works with their own body chemistry. For example, there are many perfumes I love in the bottle that just don't smell real good on me, so I don't own them. And it doesn't make them bad perfumes. They smell amazing on other people. Some of them I discovered by my friends wearing them, and I was like, oh my god, I love that, what is it? And then I try and wear it and it just doesn't work, and vice versa for others. There is no right or wrong with it. It's just whatever works for you and whatever you love and just makes you happy when you spray it. That's part of the reason I love perfume so much. It really is just like art in a bottle, and it's something that can instantly elevate your mood when you want it to, or just continue a happy day, or just something to, you know, make you feel beautiful or kind of change things up. It's really whatever you want it to be, and it's such a beautiful, easy way to transform your day and your mindset, and the bottles just honestly look beautiful. They are also an art form in and of themselves that you can display in and around your home to keep them beautiful. I'm lucky, I suppose lucky, when I started to make this video, I realized that I have most of the boxes, not all of them, but most of the boxes for my perfumes. I am someone who, generally speaking, likes to store my perfume in the boxes so that heat and sunlight can't get to it. Lately, I've been taking them out of the boxes because where I started storing them is not a room with a window, so there's no direct sunlight on them, and that didn't used to be the case. So a lot of them don't have boxes now, but a lot of them still do, so I can show you the perfumes in the box. But yeah, so that is the little disclaimer for the video, that these are just my personal favorites. I can't really rank them in order of what's a better perfume and what's not. I honestly don't have the experience and history and knowledge on the subject to tell you what's a better perfume and why, as far as quality of ingredients and long-lasting longevity when you wear it or anything of that nature. These are just the perfumes I love, and yeah, so we are going to start off with what is currently my favorite, and it is Gabrielle by Chanel. I was really excited for this perfume because I've always wanted a Chanel perfume. It's something that I just feel everybody just kind of, you know, it's the one brand of perfume that every girl just kind of wants to you know, have one of. I don't know why. It's probably just branding or whatever, but I always wanted a Chanel perfume. I used to work in retail, actually. I worked at a beauty counter, not a perfume counter, but obviously there was a perfume section, so I did have the benefit of going around and sampling many different perfumes for, you know, I think I worked there for 2.5 years. And there was a Chanel counter, and I love a lot of the Chanel scents. I love them in the bottle, and none of them smelled good on me. Not, you know, after the first 5-10 minutes. For whatever reason, the ones I loved, they just didn't smell good on me. Some of the other ones that people were like, oh, that smells nice on you, I didn't actually like the way they smelled. So I've been waiting for years to finally find a Chanel perfume that I love, and this one, finally made it. I love this one. I love it so much. It is a little pricey to get around that for the first year, just to make sure I loved it. I would go to Sephora back before the pandemic and get sample vials of this, and yeah, I was pretty shameless about it, but they do give you lovely little sample vials for this, and I've gotten quite a few over the course of a year, and I love them and they were great. when it was time to make the purchase, I did go to Sephora and make the purchase from there. So it wasn't exactly trickery, I guess. It was more like literally sampling the perfume and making sure I loved it because it was a big investment. Looking online for the kind of scent profile of this perfume, it says it's jasmine, ylang ylang, orange blossom, and tuberose. When I wear it, I smell kind of like a caramelized sugar scent, which I love. I think it's really beautiful. It's a very elegant, understated, and timeless perfume. When I spray perfume, I usually get like this like mental image or like sense of like, you know, just like where you feel like this perfume belongs. And whenever I spray this perfume, I am just like instantly transported to like the edge of a river in Paris at night on a warm summer evening. You know, the cobblestones are like wet with the rain that happened in the late afternoon, and there's like street lamps, and you can hear like music and laughter from the restaurants lining it, and you're just kind of strolling along next to the river, enjoying the moon, enjoying the evening. I know that sounds crazy, but like that is what I feel like when I smell this perfume. Like it is a nighttime stroll next to a river in an old city that has a beautiful, like fun nightlife. Like that is what this perfume is to me, and I love it. So that is currently my favorite, and yeah, we'll move on to scent number 2. So the second perfume I want to share with you guys is one that I discovered back when I was working at the makeup counter, and it was really the first perfume that I felt like was my scent. Like, I think that's why it's so near and dear to my heart. Like, not only is it an amazing perfume, like I love this perfume, it blows my mind every time I put it on. Like, it really just feels like me, which I love. And when it first came out, like it was everywhere. It was so popular, and now it's like really hard to find. It's not at any of the stores it was at. I'm really hoping it wasn't discontinued. It's not old enough to be discontinued, and it was crazy popular, so I don't understand how it would be, but maybe, hopefully not. And that is the Flora Botanica from Valenciaga. Not only is it a beautiful bottle, it's like really interesting because it's not quintessentially feminine. It's like a sturdy bottle. There's a lot of glass to it. You've got the red and the blue with the striped colors. It kind of reminds me of like Murano glass from Venice, but it is a really beautiful bottle. It's really interesting visually. And then the box has these really cool like vines all over it. Just kind of like you're transported into a crazy jungle, which is what I think the idea of the fragrance is. It says it's made with vetiver, amber, caladium leaf, rose, carnation, and mint. Rose definitely comes through in here, not like your typical rose, but it's recognizable as rose, if that makes sense. Like you wouldn't smell it and be like, oh, that's a tea rose, like not at all. But it's something where you smell it and you're like, I can't quite place that, but it's so familiar and it reminds me of roses. And you guys know I'm obsessed with roses, so I think that's what hooked me originally. Also, when I put this on, like I told you guys that I get like transported in my head with scents, this one smells like strolling through a beautiful dew-laden garden at 3 a.m. I don't know why, it just does. Like cloudy night, full moon, next to a chateau, like this is a lovely scent. And like I said, I really hope it's not discontinued. I have no idea if it is or not, but it's beautiful. It lasts forever when it's on you. And it's really unique, I think, to a lot of the scents out there. It smells cool, like it smells cold, if that makes sense. A lot of fragrances smell very warm. You smell the caramel, you smell the vanilla. It's a warm, spicy scent usually. And this has none of that. Like it smells cold. It smells like nighttime, you know, when the temperature drops and there's just flowers and water and, you know, like the dirt, but like in a good way, you know, like the mossy, peaty dirt smell. Like I love this perfume. It's incredible and it's unique and it's beautiful and I love it. So the third fragrance I want to share with you guys is Montperi from Yves Saint Laurent. It's beautiful. It's even packaged beautifully. Okay, I haven't opened this box yet, but you can see through the cellophane and it's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful pearlized pink. It's surrounded by black, just kind of like outlined in it. It's got the gold writing. Like this is just a really beautiful, elegant box. I love the box. I love the packaging. I haven't opened that bottle yet. That's my first big bottle of it. I have been living off the little pocket, I don't want to say like roller balls because they're not. It's an atomizer. It's a proper atomizer, but I love this. It's got the cute little bow. It's so cute. I asked for this for my birthday or Christmas from my roommate and she was nice enough to get it for me. This is what, like $35, and this is over $100. So I definitely wasn't gonna ask for this, but I don't know. I feel like this was a really lovely, generous gift from her, and I love it so much. I use it all the time. According to the website, the flavor profile is red berries and pear with white datura flower, white musks, and patchouli. For me, I think it smells like champagne and rainbow candies. Like, do you guys know what rainbow candies are? Or, I mean, I don't even know what they're called. That's what I called them when I was little. I remember going to the store when I would visit at my grandmother's house, and they were these tiny little white rainbow striped hard candies. They were basically sugar. They looked kind of like a large candy cane that had been segmented into little inch segments, wrapped in cellophane and just in those big bins that you scoop the candy out of. I loved them. They tasted like cherries. They didn't smell like anything, but this smells like those tasted. It's just like a fun burst of flavor, effervescent, sugary, sweet, but just like one that's also like nostalgic for your youth too. It's just a fun scent, and it makes you feel luxurious. It makes you feel just like happy in a way that you feel like everything's gonna be okay, and that you have the best life ever, and you can just like put on fabulous clothes and heels and makeup and like jet off to the Eiffel Tower and just enjoy a wonderful afternoon. Like, that's what this fragrance smells like to me. So I do love this fragrance. It's wonderful. I actually got this box for super cheap. I'd been getting a couple gift cards to Ulta and just never, like, I was really busy and just never had the time to use them. And so every time I got an Ulta gift card, it would just like go into a space, like a bag. And then I noticed that I had like 2 or 3 of them just like from people over the course of a couple holidays and birthdays and gifts. And then I was like, gee, I wonder if I can like save these up and actually buy something I really want that's really expensive. So I did that, and I ended up with like 5 or 6 of them, and I went in to purchase this, and I ended up paying like $6 for it after the gift cards all went through, and my birthday discount because I'm signed up for the rewards. So yeah, so I love this fragrance, and this bottle is special to me because I got it for so cheap. It's a beautiful box. I haven't opened it yet. I don't plan on opening it anytime soon, at least not until this is out. But yeah, fragrance number 3, really love this one. So the 4th fragrance that I want to share with you guys is Arpeggi from Lanvin. It's actually one of my vintage fragrances, so I'm very excited about this one. I have 2, neither of which are full, but they're just beautiful. They're in their original bottles. I don't actually know when they're from, but this one has like a lovely kind of hexagonal shape, octagon shape, and just kind of like some ribs in the corners there. It's like a really cool little lid. This one is more square, but it's got the edges kind of cut off, and it is mimicked in the lid as well. This fragrance I love. It's a beautiful fragrance. Originally it's from 1927, but when I was looking it up, it said it was reformulated in 1933. It definitely has that typical old world scent when you think of like older perfumes. They all kind of fall within a certain scent profile that's like really warm and deep, and it reminds you of kind of, I don't know, wearing, you know, like 1940s kind of, you know, Indiana Jones styles explorer gear, and like going through like a moss-laden cave with a torch. Like, that's kind of what it reminds me of. And the reason I ended up getting this perfume is I read about it in a book, and I just like, I fell in love with the way it was described, and I knew nothing about the fragrance other than the description I read in this book, and I was like, I have to have that. So I found my bottle, which was this one, and it wasn't full when I got it, but I didn't pay a whole lot for it, so I don't care. And it is like the vintage scent, so I don't know if it like a new bottle of it would smell exactly like this, or maybe it's like just changed with time, but I do love it, and this one smells exactly the same. They're both clearly older bottles, but they both smell amazing. So I really, really love this fragrance. It is that deep, warm scent that you kind of associate with antiquities and kind of decades of a past era. It's just got that warm, strong undercurrent to the scent, and I really, really love it for that reason. So these, I don't keep both of them out. I put this one away because there's more of it in there, and it's older, so it needs to be protected from light and heat. This one is, in my opinion, the more beautiful bottle, so I keep this one out and I use it, and I really like it, and I always feel very sophisticated and mature when I put it on, so I really do love this scent. So 5 and 6 actually have a lot in common, so I'm going to present them together. This is 5. and this is 6. And I know that's kind of crazy looking to, you know, get your perfume in these bottles. This one looks like a proper perfume bottle. It's got the little dropper in there. It's got some cool like gold painting around the bottle. And I got both of these in Canada from a little perfume shop. It was really beautifully decorated. It was all things from Egypt, and not necessarily like antiques, but like things that were made to look like antiques. They had a lot of perfume bottles. They had a lot of like chessboards and chess pieces, a lot of gold in the store. I saw it from the window and I was like, I have to go in there. And I did, and it was lovely. I actually went back 2 times, once and got this perfume and once and got this one. This one is called Sexy Cleo. This is the bottle it came in. The label, which you like can't even read, is right there, and it's put on with tape. And then the lid, which I like full on broke, you just like put this up, but the plastic has like hardened and degraded, and this tab is breaking off, and you can see the part that was the stopper is actually stuck in the bottle, but smells amazing. This smells like a riverside evening on the beach with like just not even a tropical breeze, but like a warm heated breeze, but like flowers everywhere. It's beautiful, it's deep, it's exotic, and it's amazing. So these are like perfume oils, so they last like crazy. When you put them on, like you basically have to shower to get them off. They last all day, they're incredible. So even though this is several years old, I still have quite a bit of it. It's a very small bottle, like it is a very, very small bottle. And I've only lost half of it, and most of that was when the lid originally broke and I didn't know I had to like be super careful for it, and then like the lid kind of shattered, and I should put in another container, but I don't. I'm just really careful about how I store it. I always store it upright, and because it's an oil, I actually haven't had any trouble with evaporation, which I love. Like when the lid's on, you can't even like smell it, so I don't think I'm losing any that way, and I love, love, love this one. When I was there and purchased this one, I don't think they were that expensive, but I was definitely on a budget at the time, and I wanted 2 of them. I wanted the Sexy Cleo, and then I also wanted one called 50 Flowers, and I couldn't really afford both. So I bought one and my friend bought another one, and I was always jealous of the one she got, even though I loved mine. So when I went back the second time, I purchased 50 Flowers, and this one smells a little differently. It's a different kind of perfume bottle. Kind of goes like that, and it's got the little stopper, which is fun. This one smells a little lighter, a little effervescent-y. This one kind of smells like the flowers you would smell around a hotel, if that makes sense. Like a really lovely high-end hotel that you want to get a drink in and like sit by the pool and just enjoy your vacation, but feel like a little bit of sparkle while you do it. This is the perfume for that. It's also an oil, so it doesn't go anywhere. For these, honestly, I don't tend to put them on my person. I tend to put them in my hair a little bit, and that way just every time I move it releases the scent, because it is such a powerful scent. I don't necessarily want it on my skin warming up and just like enveloping me and the people around me. My hair, I really just have to like move for the scent to get off, but like it won't just keep heating up and going out into the air. So that's 5 and 6, and that's where I like to wear them and what they smell like. And honestly, I'm so sorry I can't give you more information on them other than a cute little shop in Canada. It was in Victoria. It was called Cleopatra's Bedroom, if you guys want to check it out, but I got them years ago. It's a lovely shop. I hope they're still in business, but I honestly don't know if they are or not. And yeah, they did say that the gentleman running the shop did say that his family was still over in the Middle East and over in Egypt as well, and that they got the flowers over there and pressed them for the oils. And this one's called 50 Flowers because it does have 50 flowers in it, pressed oils from the flowers. And this one, I don't know what it is, but it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. And they're just oils from the flowers, so they really are a true perfume oil, and they're a lovely scent, and they last for forever, and they're wonderful. So my next fragrance I want to share is almost out, unfortunately. It is the 1960s perfume from Besame. So this is part of their Decades collection, and I did end up buying the sampler set originally. Based off the kind of scent profiles, I was sure I was gonna love the 1950s one, and honestly I don't. I ended up loving the 1960s and the 1930s, I believe. I have the 30s or 20s, but I think 30s. So I got the sampler set, and there were all just little vials of them, and then I basically like used it to figure out which one I wanted to buy an actual perfume of, because they were pricier. I think I paid 60 bucks for this, don't quote me on that. But it's a smaller bottle, like it's a very, let me hold it up to a regular perfume bottle for comparison. Like, yes, it was cheaper than this, but you also get a lot less, so I don't know, do you get a lot less? Neither of them have ounces on them, but whatever. It's a smaller bottle. So I purchased this and I love it. And I also purchased their atomizer, which kind of reminds me of the Eiffel Tower. It's gorgeous, it's vintage looking, and the top is on here, but it did kind of go like that. And I poured the perfume in and it didn't fill it. It only went about halfway up to about there, but I loved it. And I sprayed it and it was just beautiful on my vanity. It was this like gorgeous vintage vibe, and I just like obsessed with it. Absolutely loved it. But then I noticed that it was going down, down, down so much faster than I was using it, so much faster than any of my other perfumes. And when I went to lift it up, there's always a liquid ring around the bottom. So I was like, oh no, it's breaking. And because I'm not smart enough to pour it back in the bottle, what was I thinking? And this is one that you can too. Like this one isn't a spray. Like I could have just poured it back in, and I wasn't thinking. And instead I was like, I just have to use it super fast. So I went through it pretty quickly and then was like, finishing out the very edges of it, and was like, oh my god, I could have just saved it all and put it back in the bottle that's sealed and didn't leak. So unfortunately this one didn't leak. There's nothing wrong with the bottle. It was like somehow coming up through the atomizer lid and coming down. So I switched it to this atomizer bottle that I have. That was a gift several years ago, and I love it. Like I switched the lid to it because I was like, oh well, I don't want it to you know, I don't want to use this because it doesn't work real well. So I wanted to just keep it because it's beautiful and I paid for it, but I want to use this one. But then this one did the same thing. So I think it's just something with the lid. It's not broken glass because I've used this one before, but then this one developed a ring as soon as I switched them. So don't know what it is. Did miss a lot of perfume with that, but let's get on to the actual perfume scent profile itself. 1960 from Besame. It's part of their Decades perfume. The scent profile for this is grapefruit, coriander, wormwood with middle notes of rose, jasmine, and rosetta. Base notes are patchouli, agarwood, and oak moss. This is a really lovely fragrance that is evocative of an old time, you know, perfume of, you know, antiquity and the early 1900s. It's got that robust warmth to it, but it doesn't fully bloom into such an enveloping scent that you're overpowered with it. It's almost like a cold take on it. The fragrance builds to a point, but then it's got that like that temperature drop almost. And I don't really know how to describe it other than saying temperature drop, but it's a lovely perfume to wear that's evocative of, you know, a vintage feeling perfume, but it doesn't actually smell like a vintage perfume. It's designed, from what I understand, to give the sense of the decade she was building. And I think she did that because it is very evocative of, you know, a time period and a place, but it doesn't smell like you bought a bottle that was produced in that time period, if that makes sense. But I do really love this, and it is a beautiful fragrance, so definitely one you should check out. So the next perfume I want to share is C by Cleo, and this was one of my first kind of brand perfume purchases. I got it back when I was working at the makeup counter, so we did end up certain times of the year getting a fair amount of discounts on designer perfume, and this was one that I really liked and wanted to make my first purchase. So right now I just have a little mini bottle of it. I think I got it as like a purchase gift somehow along the lines. I've had it for a couple years now. I did have the big bottle. Originally I bought like the big bottle of it, and I loved it, but I wore it straight for like 3 years, like every single day, because it was kind of my first big designer perfume that I had, and I loved it. I loved the scent. It's a beautiful scent. But when it came time to invest in another large bottle of perfume, because it is something I save up for, because it's a luxury that I truly appreciate and love, I didn't want to buy another one of these, another large bottle. I didn't want to invest in that because honestly I was a little sick of it. It's a beautiful fragrance and smells great on you, like it really is. The notes of it are apple blossoms, bergamot, jasmine, ylang-ylang, musk, sandalwood, and vanilla. It smells lovely. It smells kind of it's a developing scent. Like it starts kind of cool and then it develops into a warm scent and it finishes on the back of your throat with spice, if that makes sense. Like it's almost like you drink like a apple cider that had like a lot of cinnamon in it, and like as you swallowed it you can feel the spice on the back of your throat. That's what this perfume does. So it's a terribly like intriguing and unique scent, and I loved that for so long. And honestly, like I haven't opened this bottle in a while, and just smelling it now for this video, it makes me really miss wearing it and makes me want to wear it more. So maybe I'll bust this one out and give it another try, because I did love it for a long time. And I've taken a break for a couple years, but it's reminded me why I loved it so much. It is a beautiful, beautiful scent. And this was a really cute little bottle of it. The larger bottles look exactly like this without the loop on the top. And it's got like the little feet on it too. Like it's a great design. So I don't know, I might give this one another shot, but See by Chloe, I did really love this perfume, and that's why it is on my favorites list. It was a favorite for a long time. So yeah, might become my new old favorite. We're gonna give it another shot. So 9 and 10 are also the same type of perfume, so I'm just gonna do them together. They're from Victoria's Secret. I feel like every girl who goes through high school ends up getting her perfume at Victoria's Secret, and I was no exception. So I have Bombshell and Heavenly, and both of them are great. I actually started with Heavenly, and there was a purple one that I loved, and I don't remember what it's called. I went back on their website recently because I wanted to get back in touch with my favorites, and it's not the same one. Like I think it was discontinued or something. They do that with their perfume. They cycle it through and discontinue it, which is a little frustrating. Can't lie, if you love a perfume and then it's just like gone a few years later. But Heavenly endured. It was the purple one that came out with that. There's another purple one, Wish or something. It wasn't that one. It was like Irresistible or something. I can't quite remember the name, but it was purple and it was amazing. So Heavenly's a really nice scent. I always got a lot of compliments when I wear this. I still wear it. It is a very, I don't know, it kind of smells like a building vanilla scent. I'm not a huge vanilla fan. Like if someone's like, oh, it smells like vanilla, it's so good. I don't really like that. I don't really like vanilla candles. They tend to give me headaches. As much as I love fragrance and perfume, like straight vanilla is not something I would love. But this is like, I guess a warm vanilla scent is the best way I could describe the way it feels and the way it smells on me. But it is one that just makes you feel a little bit older. I think when it's a younger fragrance, I think, but it's one that makes you feel mature when you are younger, if that makes sense. But it's also one that can hold its own. Like as I've gotten older, obviously I'm not in high school anymore, I still feel like I can wear this and I don't feel like it's too young for me. You know, it's not terribly fruity, it's not terribly sweet. It is a fragrance that lasts with time, and I just learned that I'm appreciating it for different reasons. Like when I wear this as a child, not a child, but like a teenager, I really appreciated the way it smelled. I love the way it smelled. I got a ton of compliments, which to me is like, ooh, A+ perfume right there. But it made me feel mature and it made me feel like an adult. Now that I'm an adult, I just like the way it smells. I think it's elegant. I think it's a great everyday perfume. It's not terribly overpowering. It's not terribly out there, but it is a lovely classic scent that I think would be appreciated by a lot of people who smell it. Not everybody loves perfume, but I think that it's a non-controversial scent and that you won't walk by somebody and be like, oh my God, what are you wearing? It's just a nice scent. My other one is Bombshell. I love this scent. I wear this scent for like a while after high school. So I started with this one, got this in high school and wore it into college, and then I went into Bombshell. Love Bombshell. Bombshell's a really good scent. Bombshell's a little bit cooler. It reminds me of like a little bit of grapefruit. It's like kind of fruity. It's just like a sassy perfume, you know? Like this is a sassy perfume. This is a lovely, elegant perfume. So yeah, let me pull up the actual scent profiles for these so you have something to compare what I think they smell like versus what they actually smell like. One sec. Okay, so I looked up Heavenly and it is, oh, I lost it. Peony, freesia, lotus, golden musk, creamy sandalwood, and bourbon vanilla. So it is meant to be kind of a warmer, more evocative scent. So nailed that. We're gonna look up Bombshell next. And for Bombshell, it looks like it is a Shangri-La peony from Tibet, a Madagascaran vanilla orchid, and sunstruck pine. It says Ligurian pine. So All things that are hard to pronounce, but it does smell lovely and it's just a really fun, sassy scent. And I do believe that is all 10 perfumes that I wanted to show you guys and share with you. And thank you so much for joining me for this one. I really had fun talking about them, and we'll probably be doing a few more perfume videos just so you guys know, just because like they're items that I really love. I feel really passionate about them and I want to share them. I want to talk about them, and there's a finite group of people like in your immediate life that you can be like, let me share my perfume collection with. But if you clicked on this video, I'm guessing you like it. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you here again soon. Bye for now.